All right, so now we've talked about the history of musical theater, how we got from opera to operetta to what we know today as musical theater, really championed in the United States with composers and lyricists. Lyricists write the words for the music, the composers write the music for the lyrics. You have some famous ones, Irving Berlin, Rodgers and Hammerstein, etc. So there is a little bit of formula to musical theater. Think about the structure of it. There are song forms. So a song form is a vocabulary of songs that describe the functional, that are typical songs of the United States or any kind of musical theater. So there are different songs, and pretty much every musical has types of songs. Every musical kind of has them. Something like the opening number. So the opening number is very important. Every musical has it. It sets the tone, time, place, and mood of the musical. Oklahoma's called "Oh What a Beautiful Morning." It sets up the, Curly is there with with Ann Eller and talking about how beautiful the morning is and how everything is on the land. Beetlejuice, which you'll see in the video, sets up the whole world of Beetlejuice, the musical. Beetlejuice himself, that it's dark, it's irreverence, there's comedy. So the song form of opening number is very important. Another one is the I song or I want song. This song is sung early in the show, introduces main characters, and sets out what they are striving for or against. The I song could be the opening number. Like in Beetlejuice, it's pretty much the opening number as well. It sets up the main character and all the different characters in the play. And it's very important. It's like the exposition, right? So it's the exposition song, basically, when we think about plot, right? So there's two examples of that. So you watch the videos. This was from Hamilton. And then we have the comic song. It's always, even in a very dark musical, let's say that's a drama, there's still comedy in Les Mis. There's two characters that are like very mean and dirty, but they're funny. So they have a song that's very funny and comical and gives a little bit of relief to the story. For some musicals, they're all comedies. There's Kristen Chenoweth. And then we have the ballad. We know this one pretty well. It's a slow song, often a love song or a lament for lost love that expresses the character's desires. Every musical has this. There's usually a relationship, a love story that goes along with anything else. Maybe the main story, maybe a B-line. It slows the pace a little bit, allows room for the next rhythm or comic song to build again to the big finish. The romantic songs are the ones that we know pretty much the most. And then we have the 11 o'clock number. It's very important. This one has to be a crowd pleaser. It's probably the most catchy song in the musical. It energizes the audience and propels the show toward the climax, right? Talking about structure again. This takes us to the climax, or can be the climax of the musical. Typically, it is a comic number, though, and invigorates the audience. 11 o'clock refers to musicals on Broadway, typically start at 8 o'clock, and so you're already 2.5, 3 hours in with intermission, and the audience gets a little bit tired. So the 11 o'clock number is to wake them back up if they're asleep, re-energize them to propel you to the very end. So the 11 o'clock number is not just a clever word. And finally, we have the finale, right? So structurally, the song carries the satisfying emotional wallop, leaving audiences with a powerful last impression. These are often very popular songs as well. It's sung by reprising, usually one of the score's most emotion-packed numbers. So usually it's probably a song that has already happened in the play, and then they reprise it at the end to give it more impact. Or it could be a whole new song that kind of closes up the whole story. Your denouement, your falling action, the finale, the end, sews everything up. Either it's going to be a happy ending or a sad ending. And there we go. A reprise, we just talked about that, is when all or part of a song is repeated to make a dramatic point and usually to energize the end of a scene. So it's the same song. Usually it'll happen, somewhere in the beginning to the middle, and it's a song that exists, characters telling a story, and then the reprise just means that it's being brought in again. The reprise, redone, repurposed, reused. Sometimes the lyrics are different. Sometimes the music can be a little bit different. Sometimes it's a different character singing the song. But typically what you'll realize is that it's telling a different story about the same kind of emotional thing that's occurring. And that's our song forms. Next we'll talk about musicals from the 1950 forward, and yeah, we'll go